guys, I won't take any more of your time. 66 people here. I think we're ready to introduce Dan. So here we go. Hey.
Hello.
How are you?
I am good. Very busy. Lots of editing behind the scenes, but I'm doing good. How are you?
I am fantastic. I'm absolutely honored and blessed that you were willing to come up here. I really appreciate it, Dan.
Of course, yeah. I am honored to be on. It's so cool to really just explore other facets of the YouTube community.
Yeah, for sure. And I know you're super busy because you do you want to explain to everyone what you do for Adventures with Purpose? And then we'll get into some of your stuff after that.
Yeah, for sure. So with Adventures with Purpose, AWP, I film the show, and at the same time I kind of have started to be a little more in the production aspect with Jared, like, oh, let's do this to tell the story, like really while we're filming it, like trying to tell the most compelling story as possible, which has really changed a lot. We're really revolutionizing this whole cold case storytelling format. And so I do the filming, the like co-produce, and then I edit everything, which is definitely the most time consuming of everything. I'm very passionate about video editing. I think it's just so cool how you can make a bunch of random clips come together to tell like a story that makes people feel emotion. That just is huge for me in life. And yeah, editing takes a lot of time, and Adventures with Purpose has a lot of videos, so it's a lot of editing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm trying to even get started on some editing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there is so much to learn. But you're only, I'm going to reveal your age. Don't worry, I reveal my age on here too. But you're only 18 years old. How do you know all of this stuff, Dan?
Yeah, I get asked that a lot, believe it or not. I learned probably when I was 14, I want to say, is the first time I like edited a video that was just on my phone on iMovie. And from there, it really became a competition between some of my friends and I. And very quickly, I just found I was very passionate and naturally talented at it. And I just went from there, and really it's driven a lot of my life. So it's very cool to just teach myself a skill and let it drive my life.
Well, and just like you and I were discussing just before we went live, I'm like, I remember being your age, and when you're ready to leave high school, it feels like you're supposed to know what you're going to do for the rest of your life the minute you walk out the doors. But when I found you, it was like, you were that kid on a gap year. And I thought that was so cool. Like, were you originally planning to go back to school at some point, or?
Well, initially I wasn't even like, I wanted to take a gap year, but I also just, I don't know, a bunch of people say it's such a bad idea because you'll get off track and blah, blah, blah. But thankfully the COVID-19 came along, which really, because school shut down, that really inspired me to just postpone going to college, which I'm so thankful happened.
Right?
There's a silver lining in all of it.
So how are you even found?
Crazy story on that one. I was just at the beginning of my gap year just looking for what is going to make this gap year extraordinary. So I was really just dinking around on LinkedIn like a 30-year-old would do. And I was just adding random people within the area, and I added Jared. I didn't look at his profile or anything. And a few days later, Jared messaged me back, and I was like, I really like what you're doing, and you have a very unique way of assembling a video. Do you want to try editing for me? So I edited a few videos for Jared, and just pretty much went from there. Like a week into knowing him, he asked me if I want to go on a road trip for 45 days. And I had to decide within a few, like, I think I had a week to decide on that. Whereas it's definitely something most teenagers would not commit to. But
well, or even some reason I said yes. Opportunity, right? To be found, or to even think of putting things on LinkedIn. I've never even done that myself, and I'm a little bit older than you are.
Yeah, it's just like it's so overrated to the younger generation, like Facebook and whatnot. But I don't know. I just, something's always drawn me to LinkedIn, I guess, and it's just brought me so many opportunities within high school. So I just like, I strongly recommend to anyone watching this to use LinkedIn. Like,
I'm gonna do that like tomorrow.
like even if you don't like need work or anything, like just for making connections and finding like other like-minded people, it's like the most powerful platform. It's so it's a weird thing to say, but LinkedIn is definitely the best social media platform in my opinion.
Well, and Valerie says she is so glad you did take the job. I think we all are.
Thank you, Valerie.
Oh, Megan will help me with my LinkedIn stuff. She's a little bit younger than I am. She's a little more in touch, I guess. Yeah. I think it's so awesome at your age to have come across, at any age, honestly. I keep saying your age just because you're about the same age as my son, but at any age, it's pretty inspirational to just follow your heart with something that's your interest, you know?
And I think that's, I want to say, like, so much of it is because the generation we're living in with technology. I just don't like, you could do that with things that aren't related to technology, but I think technology is a really opening up that opportunity for more younger kids to really take off so quickly.
Yeah. And then, you know, I love the way you had a positive perspective on the pandemic, right? Because it seems like it actually opened, like, everybody talks about the pandemic being so negative, and it really is for a lot of people. For me, I've been blessed because I'm able to work at home just throughout this, and I've been focusing on my YouTube, and I'm meeting so many people, and it's awesome. So it seems like the pandemic must have been a good timing for you as well.
Yeah, it's definitely like, it definitely affected like those around me very negatively, but for me at least, it's been so beneficial. Like I've just learned so much. And Kevin, I do drink a lot of water.
Do you drink a lot of water?
Yes, so much. It's all I drink. And when we're on the road, it's like everyone's always offering me soda because I'm a teenager, but no, I strictly drink water.
I'm just going to play a little thank you for that.
I like those. Very cool.
I need you to make me some good ones. Oh my goodness. But that's actually, like, for me, starting all of this is completely new to me. Like, no idea on anything. And I mean, it's apparent when you see stuff like that. But just even playing with those tiny clips, at least for me, it's a way to try to learn, right? Yeah.
No, like I just like, I can't stress it enough to people that are my age or people that are older. I mean, just trying things, even if you're bad at it. Like, there's just this, so many people feel like, oh, I shouldn't try because technology is hard to use. It's like such a baloney excuse. It's all about learning. It's like,
it's hard. You know, a lot of us, we live in fear. And Kim Gypsy Emporium, thank you so much for that. Dan has been gifted wolf related items. What?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think they're in my bedroom, but I have like a collection of wolf stuffed animals.
Wow.
They're somewhere in my house. But no, my middle name is Wolfgang, which was a huge thing where we made everyone have to guess what it was, and then the person who guessed it won a t-shirt, and it was a very large thing. And ever since, I've just received a bunch of wolf related gifts, which is fortunate and unfortunate. Like, it gets a little much at times.
Everywhere you look, there's something with the wolf, right?
It's crazy.
So you've had this opportunity with Adventures with Purpose. What has that been like? Like, personally, I would think of things like that tough emotional side.
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with that?
Yeah, so really starting in the beginning, just going on the first road trip, I'm like a very naturally introverted person.
Mm-hmm.
Like being stuck in an RV with Sam and Jared, which are Sam's claims to be introverted, but I don't know about that. But
I don't know.
Jared,
Watching his stuff, I don't think he's an introvert at all.
Jared's definitely an extrovert. So like figuring out how to like thrive in that environment for me, firstly, was just like it was so new to me, and I really had to step outside of my comfort bubble in a way, which I don't know. I feel like I almost just lived in a shell a little bit. Like I was very like quiet. But eventually I was able to find who I want to be and how I want to like express myself on this platform and become a part of the team. And really understanding that made me feel so much more energetic and enthused about being a part of the team, because
Mm-hmm.
initially I was kind of like this is pretty scary, but I really was able to step outside my comfort zone and learn how to like talk a little more, like stuff like this. Like 6 months ago, I would have been like, no way. But I've really been able to step outside of my comfort zone. But as far as the emotional side of it, working on cold cases, that is very, very heavy and very traumatic. It was really the first one that I was a part of, which was Nicholas Allen. That one was just so much to process, especially because the police, we were getting a bunch of lashback on that case. So we had located the vehicle, but then the local law enforcement they were not really wanting to work with us, and it
Oh,
it was very dramatic and not ideal. So that combined with just the emotional, like, wow, we found Nicholas. There was just so many emotions going through my head. It was very intense, and it definitely took me like 3 or 4 days to like kind of feel
try
like
to
myself again.
process that, right?
And yeah, even like I don't think I actually processed it until a few months later. I think because our pace is so like go 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 go. Um, I think that I more so just kind of shoved it aside and saved it for later, because I really like when I got home, I didn't feel like myself for like a month or two from that first trip,
Mm,
just because it was so emotionally draining. I think I just went into like this like you have to be strong, like it was like a very like survival mode
yeah.
in a sense. And learning how to cope with that, definitely like the last trip we went on, I'm getting much better at coping with all the emotions I feel from something like that, but it still is like a feeling you've never felt before. It's like rewarding in a sense because we did what we were set out to do, but
Yeah.
also just that's
It's some pretty heavy stuff for
unfortunate. Yeah.
anyone. I mean, it's you talk to like people in the military and police forces and firemen, there's a lot of post-traumatic stress in that. Like I know even watching some of those videos when you guys are pulling the car out, and I'm like, we're getting close to seeing that someone is there, but thank goodness you guys don't show that. But I almost feel
Hmm.
nauseous at that part, and I'm just watching where I'm safe over here. Like you're actually seeing all of this,
Yes.
and thank you for not showing us that part. I'm gonna just
No.
say,
Yes.
oh
That would,
wow,
yeah, we would definitely want to respect
yeah, yeah.
all
Um,
aspects of it.
but it is good to find a way and to do it sooner than later to process some of those feelings and emotions, Dan.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely, I don't, I just, and being exposed to such emotionally intense situations, I think I've learned so much about myself, because that
Mm-hmm.
really tears you down and then you have to kind of build yourself back up again. And
Yeah.
I think that's taught me way more about myself than anything else I can really think of could.
But the thing is too, Dan, you can look back to that beginning and how tough it was, and you can see that you had strength. You found strength through it, and that is a strength that you will always carry with you and develop and grow. If you ever need to talk, give me a call. I'm a social worker. That's why I'm so worried about that part for you.
Thank you. I'll definitely keep it in mind. My Siri keeps going off. But yeah,
Wow.
thank you. We've had a few people reach out to that like deal specifically with people like with PTSD too within the area. So it's definitely nice to know we have that support there if we need it. And some cases are definitely much more draining than others. It's really getting invested with the family, in my opinion. That makes it so much more challenging for us opposed to like law enforcement when they recover someone, where we know the family and the story and we have a connection, and it's just like we become a part of the family, and it's hard.
And hard. So even when it's nice that they have the ability to have some closure, it also, that's a lot of pain too, right? I don't even want to try to imagine what that's like to deal with. But wow, what an experience.
Jared always says it's what we wanted, but we didn't want it. Like it's just a very weird.
Thing. So in the process of all this, we're going to kind of switch gears a little bit, right?
Okay.
You have developed your own media company and you have your own YouTube channel. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah. So really my media company, which is currently called Dan Schmidt Media, it may be changing soon. That I really founded that like midway through high school. And I would film real estate or like local athletes, like snowmobiling or mountain biking.
Okay.
And I also make a lot of like my personal mountain biking and skiing films. And that business kind of took off within the Sisters community, and where I live in Sisters, Oregon. So that's what I mean by Sisters community.
Okay.
And it really took off within my community, and that really gave me confidence to keep like expanding and taking on new things. So I became like very into wedding videography, and very quickly also learned that's not for me. I filmed all sorts of I filmed a lot of like, I was involved with this organization where they would bring foster children and they'd reunite with their siblings. So they're separated, but then they'd reunite. And I would film these summer camps where they were reunited. And that was definitely like kind of a similar feeling to what I do now with Adventures with Purpose, like very different, but still
so much
like
emotion.
That's the draw for me. I think I like being able to capture emotion and then make people that view my work feel emotion is really what gives me fulfillment in what I create. So emotion is the name of the game for me.
Yeah. And that's a really good way for you to process it too. A very healthy way to be processing that. That's awesome. And then you're possibly going to change the name, you said, of the company, or?
Yeah, that's still up in the air. With Adventures with Purpose, I'm like pretty much full time working with Jared. I don't really have time for my own stuff at the moment. I do edit a few podcasts on the side. I'm involved with a few different things like that. I also teach like a high school class on the side.
You teach a class too? Oh my goodness, what don't you do? Okay, I'll listen.
So I have to film a bunch of curriculum stuff for that class as well. So that takes a lot of my time during the days. It's a class I founded. We build alpine skis, and it's a very unique program that like I'm super into engineering. Like that's what I wanted to go to school for, like product design, that's type of thing. So throughout my gap year, I've also been developing and refining this curriculum for this class that I founded and teach at my high school. And it's another thing that somehow I'm involved with, and learning how to juggle it all is quite the challenge.
Wow. Yeah, you're a busy man and definitely amazing. They are so right. Oh my goodness. Jeez, I'm feeling lazy talking to you.
I don't, there's like negative connotation associated with being lazy, and I just don't think that should exist. Like not having things to do is a luxury.
Yeah. Because you're very
thankful
busy,
for
very
it.
active.
Yeah, definitely. And it's almost like I'm addicted to it. It's not good. Like this weekend was really the first time I've like had to force myself, like no work on Sunday, no work whatsoever, because I'm so obsessed with it. It's very challenging to really understand how I want to find balance in life. And I don't know, I've just become so obsessed because I enjoy what I do so much. That's the tricky part.
Well, they say when you find your passion, it gives you energy. Mm-hmm. And so it sounds like you found your passion and that it is doing that. I guess that saying's true when it comes to you.
Yeah, the energy part, I don't know. I hardly get any sleep.
Yeah.
I am energetic with what I do.
You'll find your balance, and it's good that you take a day for yourself. But now let's just add one more layer on top of this for everyone. You have a YouTube channel too.
Yes. So currently there's nothing really worth watching except some of my portfolios on my YouTube channel. And in the time since, like working with AWP, I edit so much. The level of my editing now is just like I've grown exponentially as an editor and storyteller, to where like I'm not really proud of much of the stuff on my portfolio. It's cool to look back on, but I've just progressed so much as an individual sense that I think it's not really an accurate portrayal of what I'm capable of now. Mm-hmm. But with my YouTube channel, I'm working to get far enough ahead with AWP videos to kind of create a few videos of my own and start some sort of YouTube channel to inspire others. That's really the premises, and I'm still working on the fine details, but I definitely think there's a calling, and it's something that I really want to do now that I know so much about YouTube now. So I think it'd be cool to tell my story, and I have a bunch of other stories that I'd like to tell as well. So I think
that's awesome. And you know, calling. The nice thing about putting this stuff up there when it was pretty new and raw is you can show how much a person can grow. Mm-hmm. How much, putting the effort in can make a difference. And they always say you need to start where you're at. So it sounds like you did that, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I taught myself everything and continue to do that today. So
I think that's awesome. A lot of people in here are talking about how talented you are and how you inspire them, and that you have a girlfriend and she's a very lucky girl.
Yeah, the whole girlfriend, we have fans that try and dig into that, and I'm like, I'm keeping personal life and this thing separate, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm definitely not going to pry into that at all.
No, I wasn't assuming you would, but we do have people occasionally like
I'll talk to you
a little weird about that.
Yeah, that's the thing, there's a lot of vulnerability being in the public eye in any format, mm-hmm. and you kind of need to protect those around you as well.
Yeah. I think, at least for me, like, not like I don't really talk about anything related to AWP or any of my work related things with her, just because I personally, I think having being able to compartmentalize your life is beneficial when you have so many things going on. Yeah. And I'm still learning how to do it, but finding mental clarity and being able to shut off a part of your brain and fully be attentive to whatever you're doing 100%
Yeah.
is really what I'm trying to learn how to do in life right now. And
I
it's proving
just,
to be
you are
hard.
such an intelligent man. Like,
Thank you.
you must have some amazing role models in your life that help you, like, because you couldn't just pick all this up on the streets, right? Like, you must have someone that's really inspired you and helped you.
Yeah, I definitely went to the high school within my town. Definitely has some very unique programs. Like my senior year, I would take kids backpacking by myself. I would take a bunch of kids just same age as me, because I'm a year young for my age or my grade level. But I would take a bunch of kids backpacking with no adults into the wilderness for 3 days. Like, just such cool opportunities were offered at my school that I fully took advantage of. And I think the people I met through doing that allowed me to just really find role models and kind of create this picture of who I want to become.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
We have a question from Adventures in Xanadu. It says, Dan, love your passion. What is your end game? Like, what is the dream job for your future?
Good question.
That is a very good question.
I don't have a finite, like, specific answer. Really just using my skills to help others is the ultimate goal in life. And I've already, like, that's just what brings me meaning in life. But in a more like short-term perspective, next year I'm going to a unique school where I'm going to be able to go to school but also work with AWP. So continuing the balance. Just because I do see, like, being a part of a community, it's a very unique school that I think will put me around more people, because for me, at least in my life, being around like-minded individuals or people that I see inspirational benefits me. Just being able to kind of leech onto their creativity and they leech onto mine, and it's just like a net benefit. Like, just increases the total energy, positivity, and like productivity and all the good things. So next year I plan to attend school in Colorado for a little while when I can, and then also working with AWP. But like on a 5-year scale, I don't know. I probably will be involved with AWP in some form. But I also, like, maybe if the personal, like my own YouTube takes off, that as well as some sort of product company type of thing. I'm not really sure yet, but
you're focused on a couple different income streams. I think that's very wise. Very wise.
I do have like a very, like, I'm so interested in engineering and product design, and naturally pretty good at that stuff as well, to where somehow combining the two eventually is the ultimate goal. Like, being like a jack of all trades, being able to create a product, but then using these skills to market it and do the whole digital aspect.
The whole start to finish, following something through. Right?
I don't know. Maybe a consulting agency. I'm not sure.
You know what? Why peg yourself into a hole? And there's so many opportunities.
That's what I want to drive home so much with my story. And whenever I do start creating videos of my own, there's no reason to set this end goal. I think you just need to do you in the moment and find what you're interested in and go after it. There's no reason.
Do you find it a bit freaky, never knowing what you're going to see when you're filming?
Yeah, at the beginning I did.
It's one of those things you processed. But you have a little bit of a new plan coming up. There's something you're going to do a little different. Can we share? Is it a secret? Can we share that secret with everyone in the chat?
As far as YouTube, or
or your living arrangements?
Oh, yeah. So I definitely am considering becoming a van lifer. Oh, Siri went off again. My bad. I don't know why that keeps happening. But I definitely, my dad actually has a Sprinter van, and I have a lot of experience with the van life already. But I'm in the process of debating whether van life is for me or not, just because I will be traveling so much between Colorado and Central Oregon that it seems
Mm-hmm.
very, very logical to just buy a van. Um, but it's still up in the air. It's a big leap,
Well,
as you
it's
probably
not
know.
like it's forever, and it's not like it's buying a house and tying you
Mhm.
to one spot or being house poor because you've, spent everything you have
No,
initially to get into house. But you can kind of set up your own office in there. There's all
yeah,
sorts of good things you can
and
do.
from a financial perspective too. Excuse me. I have some of my best friends actually live in vans right now in the area, and
Mm-hmm.
they're all engineers, and it's just the amount you save living in a van, like in your early 20s, is a big a big life hack.
Yeah, that's a big motivator to try it. I mean, it's an experience, just like all the other
Hmm.
things that you do is a different experience. And that would give a lot of content for your YouTube channel at this point too.
Hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
It's definitely something on the horizon, and I think it's so cool what you guys are doing. So
So what would you get? Like, I'm in an ambulance, although I never thought I would buy an ambulance, right? Like it just,
uh-huh.
but sometimes you just have to be open to those opportunities. And I know that you get that because you do that, right? You see an opportunity, you say yes, and you give it a try. But
Hmm.
in your mind right now, like, do you need to be able to stand up? Do you want a minivan? Do you want a
um
sprinter?
I've kind of been looking at like a smaller ProMaster. They're somewhat ideal just because they make like smaller versions. Just I feel like a tall, long Sprinter is a little big for me at the moment. Because the other alternative is like getting like a crossover type of just sporty car that gets really good gas mileage.
Yeah.
Because that's really the trade-off: space or gas mileage.
Hmm.
So
Well, I guess you would have to
it's
look at how much time are you going to be spending in it? Are you going to be living in it or living
that's the
out of it?
thing. It wouldn't be. It would be more of like a weekend type of. Like I wouldn't be living in it full time. It would probably be like, I don't know,
Hmm.
50, 60 days a year.
Yeah.
And then like I don't know, maybe I'd be like Kevin with AWP and like drive around in it too when we're on road trips. I don't know.
He's going to try pushing you in that direction, right?
Of course he will. Kevin's
Yeah.
very good at being an influencer.
Very persuasive.
Yeah, one could say.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to throw it out to the chat. We have 122 people here right now.
Oh my.
You guys toss your questions out there. If you can tag me with @vanvidatravels, it will highlight orange for me. So there's a better chance that I don't miss it. But Kevin's got a question for you right off the bat. I'm feeling there's a story with this one. Have you ever crashed a drone?
Yes, I'm gonna go grab my newest.
You're supposed to yell, "Don't look at my butt," like Kevin does.
So Kevin, I just picked up this new drone. It goes 100 miles per hour. It's it's very, very hard to fly. You have to wear goggles, and it's like the coolest thing I've ever owned.
You have to
Um,
wear goggles?
yeah, just because it goes so fast. If you're just flying it like a normal DJI drone, you will not be able, like, you're fully immersed. It's like flying a spaceship, and you get motion sickness, and it's it's scary.
Really?
But I haven't crashed it yet, and I'm very scared to crash it because 100 miles per hour things break very easily. But I have crashed a lot of drones, but I've only broken one to a point where it can't fly.
Wow.
So Yes, the drone.
Stephanie.
I'm very passionate about flying drones. I like drones a lot. Um,
Stephanie,'s like, is
uh,
Dan tired of living with two old men?
I don't know. I've gotten used to it. It's kind of weird being around people my age because I'm so used to like hanging out with people that are like in their 30s. And I'm
Yeah.
like fairly mature for myself to where
Hey, look who else is
it's
here.
it's yes, Chaos Divers in one of the latest edits when I was editing, he actually drove the drone into Jared's forehead.
Oh!
Yeah. It's very funny.
No.
Jared wasn't bleeding though, which was good.
I guess if that's the only way to judge if it was okay or not. No blood. All right, we're moving on.
It was funny. Jacob texted me the instant it happened. He's like, I crashed the drone, Dan. And I was kind of excited because I wanted Jared to buy one of these, but that didn't happen.
So we have another question from Sean S. Who is going to keep who in line? Have fun with another wolf. Ready for hangout with the doggos and Kevin. How long are you two road tripping? Wow, there's a whole lot of stuff there. First of all, who's the other wolf? Kevin's dog? Is one of his dogs part wolf?
Yeah, one of them is. Yeah, I think Bella is.
Mm-hmm. So are you going to do a little bit of road tripping with Kevin, do you think?
It's really a matter of how quickly I can finish this production schedule with AWP. I'm trying to get I don't know if Jared wants me to release all this, but I'm trying to get somewhat ahead with the production schedule. Right now I'm like 3 videos ahead of our release schedule. So I'm trying to get to a point where I have a few months off because I can barely have a day off right now. I'm so strict to myself about working. So I'm trying to just really grind right now to get to a point where I can take some serious time off and really recalibrate and figure out what's next. So
that'll be
quite
nice.
Possibly once Kevin makes it to the West Coast, I will be doing something with him.
Nice. Very
nice. We'll see.
So we have 8. Wait, am I counting right? 18 minutes left. Does anyone else have any questions? Because we're right after we are done this stream, we are going to raid Prairie Life. If anybody wants to know a little bit about the Canadian prairies, where I live, Prairie Life, Karen, she lives an hour away from me, so she's going to be doing a lot of stuff about Saskatchewan, Canada. So if you guys are interested in that, that's another option. It says here Dan needs to do more more outtake videos.
Okay, Paul, the issue, so many people want this. The issue is to do outtake videos is not as simple as like just taking what we don't use. It's like having to assemble a whole new video. It would take me, I calculated it once. It would take me like too much time to make outtake videos. So unfortunately, until we get a second editor, I don't know if we'll have outtake videos. We'll just have people like Kevin or people like Kevin to tag along, and they can do the behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's hard because you got to go through every video to pull out those and then try to put them together.
Because I pull the highlights, and to do the outtakes would be having to pull the outtakes, which is twice the amount of work. So.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we will not be doing any outtake videos. That's for Kevin and Sam the Adventureman to really nail after.
So, Kevin, trying to be funny in the chat. He's a great guy. He says, Dan, have you ever raided anyone's van when you crashed a drone? I wonder, is there another story, dear?
There is another story here. Actually, that won't work. I'm actually working on the video right now when this happened, but we were driving on the interstate. I was in the RV. We were flying the drone, and the drone we used for AWP does not go interstate speed. So I had to like shortcut and try to get across the river to our final location. So I lost signal, and I ended up having to crash land the drone in a tree because it ran out of battery.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on private property, and Jared's RV is just so hard to turn around. So Sam and I jumped into Kevin's. We raided his van, if you will, and Kevin and we were throwing shoes to get the drone out of the tree once we found the property it was on. which this will be a video that's out soon on Sam's channel, I think. I don't know if Kevin's releasing one as well, but it's going to be a very good video.
Awesome. I look forward to it. We have another question. Dan, where would you like to travel to? Like, what's your top 1, 2, 3 places?
Well, you being up in Canada, like going to that aspect of it, like I love Canada. It's so, especially British Columbia. I haven't really been around Saskatchewan where you are at all, but British Columbia, I definitely like. Revelstoke is definitely one of my like favorite places on earth. But in terms of going places that are new, I've really been looking at Bermuda, kind of off the east coast of the US. It seems kind of like a unique place. Always wanted to go to like Lombok in Indonesia. I think that'd be cool. Oh,
really?
Mm-hmm. And third locate like Mongolia and China. I've actually spent quite a bit of time in like Beijing, like the business part of China. To where I would really like to spend some time in Mongolia, just because it's like a very unique culture. My school had a very cool Chinese program, going back to how my school has made me who I am. That we all our teachers were from different parts of China, and they were just like exchange college students, and they would just teach us every year. And then we got really cool opportunities where we got to go to China and study in China. Towards very cool.
So you studied in China?
Mm-hmm. At a university in like a month.
And how old were you when you did it?
Like 16.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's like the program, like I hardly had to pay a dime to go. It was a very amazing opportunity that it's very cool to see Chinese culture. It really makes you realize so much about the world.
Mm-hmm. So we have a question.
Oh boy.
What cameras do you use, or editing software? What are you most comfortable with at this point in time?
Okay. As far as cameras go, right now with AWP, we're shooting on the Lumix GH4, which is a fairly old camera body. I think it came out in 2015, but it's very capable by modern standards. It shoots 4K. It gets the job done. And I forget what lens we're shooting now, but it's very heavy. That's all I know. It's really expensive and very heavy, but it works good. So Lumix GH4, we're in the process of eyeing up some of Sony's newer cameras, like personally as well as with AWP. So there could be that increase in quality coming soon. Mm-hmm. And as far as editing software goes, I use just the Adobe Creative Cloud, so Premiere Pro and After Effects primarily, and occasionally I'll use Audition for little things, but primarily Premiere Pro and After Effects. And then for our thumbnails, I use Adobe Photoshop and Lightroom. And for the little another software, I've done a terrible job presenting this. For those little pop-ups we do in our video where there's like a little head that pops up from the bottom of the screen, I use Adobe Illustrator for that. So I use most of the Adobe Creative Cloud.
Wow, that's awesome. There's actually a question for me in here. Somebody wanted to know, where did I put that question? Everything keeps rolling so quick, right?
Yes.
Someone wanted to know how far I am from Manitoba, and I am between an hour and 45 and 2 hours away from Manitoba. And I'm like 5 hours from Alberta. Right?
Okay. I've been to Alberta once. It was really cool.
Well, so did you check out Calgary? Did you go to Banff and stuff?
Yeah, we went to Banff and like Lake Louise.
So Calgary's right near that, and that's where my son was going to university.
Okay. I
Yeah.
was very close to going to university in Canada, but it's very expensive if you're from the US.
Yeah, for
And
anyone that wants to be an international student, it is quite a bit more.
But that was like a dream of mine, but working with AWP, doing the balance just wouldn't really work.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to catch up with some of the chat here. We only have like 10 minutes left before we raid Prairie Life, and we will all let her know it's a Van Vita raid. Kevin's definitely making a statement that he is extremely proud of you.
Thank you, Kevin. It means a lot.
Sorry, I know a lot of people had questions and they highlighted it, but I still missed them. Because can you see the chat going by on StreamYard, Dan?
Yeah, I can.
And it'll like not move and then jump. And then you got to scroll a whole bunch.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Because when Jared does the StreamYard things, I'm in charge of this side of things. So I know the struggle.
Actually, I keep the YouTube side open and this. Do you do it that way as well?
No, I do. We do everything directly through StreamYard.
Well, when I bring something up like Angie's comment here, that's all through StreamYard. I mean, you're aware of that.
Yeah.
She wants to let you know, Dan, you are amazing. Just know you have a follower and a fan for life, my friend. There's a lot of really great people in this community.
It's so humbling to be a part of. It's I just like can't believe I'm a part of it. It's unreal. Just the scale of it is crazy to me.
Like, Lorraine's saying do a like spike. How many likes do we have? 110. I feel too silly to do the big dramatic shouting it out thing that Kevin does. Would you like to ask them in some way for a like spike? What do we do? Just count down? I don't even know.
Yeah. So Kevin has brought like spikes to AWP as well. So we want everyone to hover over the like button if you're on the computer or your phone. Let me pull this up on my phone.
This is so cool. Dan's doing a like spike for me. It's going to be my highlights reel someday.
Okay, so everyone hover over right here. And in 3, 2, 1, we like it. And I'm also going to subscribe to you on my phone.
Well, nice. Thank you. Thank you. Well, we're sitting at 109, 110.
Everyone hit the like button.
Woo, 125. That was a quick jump.
We're not good at this like Kevin is. You have to be super energetic.
I know, right? But that's exhausting. He's 135 already. That is so cool. Wow. 136. Geez, that's kind of a bit of a rush all on its own. And we have 120 people still here. I'm just like, wow. What? And look at this. Thank you, Ron C. What does this say? Thank you to Dan for visiting us this evening. Very cool to hear of your experiences and your outlook on life. Moose milks all around. Okay. You'll have to watch my previous stuff. I don't know if you know what the moose milks
is.
I want to stay with you.
Wow. Moose milk's an alcohol that's made in Alberta, Elk Island, and so I bought it. It's moose milk. I thought it was funny. I did a shot on a live stream, and now moose milk's become a really big thing on this channel. Then I learned how to make my own.
Yeah, that little snippet kind of made me uncomfortable. It's crazy. It's kind of uncomfortable watching that. It's so like, whoa, what is going on?
It's so weird.
It's very funny.
Like, what in the hell is going on this channel? I need to make something better. That was like something really quick put together, trying to figure out how to overlay things. Yeah. I'm older. I'm one of those ones at first goes, oh, can I do it with the technology? But I'm trying to learn. I'm just a little slower.
You can do anything.
Well, apparently adults learn the best by connecting things to stuff they already knew. Well, when I was your age, computers wasn't a thing. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit tougher, right?
Yeah, but that's so true. Like so much of
Sorry, I missed a question. Stephanie, if you could type it back in, that would be awesome. Thank you. Sorry.
so much of like learning how to edit and just everything I do is taking concepts from other aspects of life and applying it. I think it's really how I've gotten to where I am in life in all areas, is just being multidisciplinary, being able to take stuff from different aspects.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I think adults definitely learn the best by doing that. I don't know where I'm going with this, but
it's a proven theory that we learn in that way. Yeah, but I mean too, like I'm definitely not as busy as you, but I am working full time during the day and trying to do these and then trying to learn so that I could actually at some point put a decent video out.
You'll get there. I believe in you.
I'm still waiting to see for a question coming back up again that I had missed before. If she types it back in there. Is there anything in the last 4 minutes that we have that you would like to share with everyone?
No, nothing in particular. Just like thank you for having me. I'm honored to be on here, and hello to anyone that doesn't watch AWP. It's nice to see you all.
Yeah, this is definitely a mixture of the nomadic community and AWP.
Mm-hmm.
So this was Stephanie's question. Thank you, Stephanie, for putting it in there again. Sorry that I missed that. Does Dan apply the music to the videos, or is it the guys that make the music? The banjo music is hilarious.
So I am in charge of all our music. I select it. I handpick it all. And yes, I apply all the music to the videos. We used to have a guy who did custom scores, but since that has stopped happening, so I'm in charge of all of the music. So thank you.
Wow.
I think music is an essential part of a good video. So
yeah, and Ron says he is new to the AWP community and he plans on binge watching. Yeah.
Well, yeah, definitely start with the newer stuff, Ron. Jared's edits before me were a little rough. So
did you Holly wants to know, did you ever get the gold wolf?
Yeah, I think I have it. Let me check.
I love that bed frame. That's all like real wood.
Yes.
Like logs. That is so cool.
Is it this, Holly?
Oh, like, someone sent you that?
Yes. Is it this? Put it in the chat. Yeah, someone sent me this. I get so many unique, cool things like this.
This Sam the Adventure Man.
Hello, Sam.
We're just wrapping it up, but you can always hit rewind. Oh my God, yes, she says. Oh, isn't that nice that you could just go grab that and show her that you have it? That's fantastic.
Yes, this is one of the few gifts I have in my bedroom. So nice work, Holly. Thank you so much.
That's awesome. Yorkborn says you should put dueling banjos on some of the videos.
Yeah, I don't know what a dueling banjo is. Is that where there's like two of the little drums? I think I do.
I think so. Oh, I have a comment to show you my moose cup. It's actually a shot glass. Now I got to get up and run. Hang on. I'm still here though. It's one of those National Lampoon's Vacation kind of things, but a channel member sent me this little moose.
That's so cool.
Isn't that cute? Because I put my moose milk in it. I just love it. It was just so sweet. And it's, something that's small and I can actually use it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because it gets hard when a person wants to keep things downsized and have a bunch of trinket things. Right?
No, yeah, I totally understand. I think that's super cool about the van life thing too, just being minimalist. I think being a minimalist, that's why like these gifts get a little excessive just because they don't have much function in my life, but I'm very thankful for them at the same time. But
well, you know what? In my travels, I learned I like buying things like towels now. I used to buy all the little trinkety things, and then I'm like, yeah, no, I'm going to use something that's actually reusable. And when someone's doing the van life or any kind of nomadic travels, yeah, everything needs to be multi-purpose.
Exactly.
So I want to thank my moderators, and can I get everybody to drop their channel link? Sorry I took so long to remember to do that. Too involved with listening to Dan. I wish I had more time. So I want to thank everybody for being here. At the top of the chat, I have pinned the link to Prairie Life's live stream that's going to be happening in the next 6 seconds. So I'm going to play a little farewell. Much love, everyone. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I will see you again on Wednesday. We find out who our next surprise guest is with Badge.